In this video, I'm going to talk about how to become a well-paid maker without ruining your life. If you're dreaming about the end-all be-all business that you want to build, and it includes hiring more employees, getting more space, buying more equipment, you might be barking up the wrong tree. You might be creating a life that actually causes you more stress and takes you away from the thing that got you into the craft in the first place. I know a lot of you don't know who I am, but I'm Parker. I built a handmade business called Stock and Barrel, started back in 2012. Made every mistake in the book, but eventually sold it, and I built multiple other D2C e-com product brands and generated millions in revenue. But when I talk about scale for an artisan brand, you're not scaling the amount of orders coming in or the size necessarily. You're scaling the demand that you have for your products and the trust that your customers have for you, and the ability to charge whatever you need to create a sustainable life for yourself. Living quietly in your workshop, creating, is the ultimate image of a successful artisan brand. It really requires a big shift in your mental perception of what success looks like. What does it look like for you? And then you need to work backwards from that. How many pieces do you can you realistically make to match that? And can you do it with your own hands while staying creative and not breaking your neck? The next thing is brand clarity. This is your brand positioning. What you make, who it's for, what's different about your work, just being extremely clear about that. If you can't answer those questions really easily and quickly, then you need to sharpen it up. And if I had to put my finger on one thing, this is where I made my biggest mistakes in my career. And as soon as I found moments where I could tighten that up, it changed everything for me. Know exactly who your audience is. Think about your ideal customer as just one person. How can you make them care about your products in a way that they're not going to care about any other products on the market? Increasing the value of your signature offer. Another one of those big mistakes that I've made in the past. I priced my products based on what I thought they should be worth or what I thought people might pay, and not realizing that once I was locked into those prices, it was going to require a lot of growth and scale to make it so that I could actually make a living doing it. Let's say you make handcrafted camera bags. These are for high-end fixed lens, small bodied compact cameras. Let's say you could comfortably make 10 of those bags in 1 month. What do those bags need to be priced at in order to live a comfortable life, given your current lifestyle and where you're at? And then work backwards from there. Make sure that your price sustains that. If you get to a point where you realize, I can't live comfortably at this income level and I need to scale the amount of products I'm making, then it's going to create a lot of headache and stress. You're going to need to hire more people, buy more equipment, borrow money. It's going to get really complicated. Next thing you know, you're not a artisan quietly working on a passion project inside of your creative space anymore. You're managing people. And if that's what you like to do, then great, stick to it. I just want to make sure you know what you're up against, because so many makers go into this without realizing that might be what the final product looks like based on how they're setting it up now. Figure out the life you want to live, figure out how many pieces you can comfortably make in small limited batches, price it accordingly. This is for an artisan premium product. You're not competing on price, you're not trying to come up with the cheapest option for bargain hunters. People are coming to you for meaning, for story, for depth, for your artistic expression. So increase the value of your signature offer. Make sure you're going after the right customer who can pay that. Create limited editions, collaborations, and new offers. You should have a signature offer, a signature product that serves that exact core audience that we came up with in the first step, or the second step, in your brand positioning. That core product can be what you become known for. Once that exists, there's an endless number of ways that you can keep things fresh and exciting and limited and exclusive for your audience. New materials, modifications, small batch editions, collaborations with other artists or creators, gonna keep those limited drops feeling really fresh and exciting. You can even demand higher prices. And then the last one is building demand with story-driven content. This is what's gonna make or break it. If no one knows about you, you're not gonna be selling anything. But if you consistently build your core fan base, your core audience, using story-driven content, you're going to have the leverage to sell whatever products you need to that fits within that brand position. This is where you create meaning. It's where you create the story. I'm not talking about create a YouTube channel where you're doing tutorials and tips and tricks. That was the mistake I made 10 years later, realizing I basically had my foot in two different businesses. One where I'm teaching people about the craft and another one where I'm selling a product. There's a massive opportunity on YouTube right now for artisans, makers, craftsmen to be doing story-driven content on YouTube to build demand for their work. You do that by educating on the product, talking about your design decisions, your material selections, the people that surround your work. It could be your mentors, your family, it could be your customers, which is probably the biggest one you should focus on. You know, the way this is affecting people's lives and how they're using it. There's just so many areas to pull stories from. You know, it could be a 6-minute story, but something that is engaging, has that proper hero journey sort of structure to it, or at least, you know, that's one of the story frameworks you could lean into. But anything that creates tension and release, opens the curiosity loop that makes you go, wait, what's this about? And then makes you stick around till the end to find out how it goes. If you're worried that people aren't going to pay, then you need to create the trust, the meaning, and the story behind your product that make people obsessed with it. Build the kind of demand that you can charge whatever you need to live a sustainable, quiet, creative life in your workshop, building things that you love. The best way to learn more about this and apply this framework is in the Crafted Brand Lab. There's an online community. You can hit the link in the description. If you're just getting started or $47 a month doesn't seem like, you know, that seems like a stretch, I don't want you to do it. I don't want you to do anything you're not comfortable with. But if you're in the place where you're ready to grow, it honestly could be the best investment you've ever made. People are making life-changing, you know, moves in that. And we've had some great conversations. We have live group calls. We have a resource library in there. Lots of good feedback. So anyway, go check it out, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.